Today's Cowboys Report is made possible by Roan. They make awesome and comfortable and very cool looking clothes. Get 20% off when you use promo code CHATSPORTS over at roan.com/chatsports. 12 players have been signed to futures deals here for the Dallas Cowboys. We'll break them all down for you and who they are on today's videos. Begin with a name you probably have heard of. It's Malik Davis, the running back who has spent some time as a member of the Cowboys 53-man roster. Played 15 career games, predominantly as a special teamer. And the futures deals are all the same purpose. It's you're bringing guys who were on your practice squad or a different practice squad whose contracts have expired, and you were going to allow them to compete for a roster spot or practice squad spot once again. Every team does this. Do not get mad about doing futures deals. You'd be a failure organization if you did not. So Davis will fight for one of those spots. And one of the outside the Cowboys practice squad additions is Snoop Conner. You SEC fans might remember him, the former Ole Miss running back, who was a fifth-round draft pick back in 2020 of the Jacksonville Jags, hasn't played that much in the NFL, and whether he didn't want to come back to Jacksonville or he chose not to come or was told he wasn't going to come back to Jacksonville, either way, he is now a member of the Cowboys organization. The current running back depth chart room looks like this. Both Tony Pollard and Rico Dowdle are free agents. OTC has listed as Dowdle as a free agent. Spotrac as an RFA. I'm pretty sure he's a free agent. I'll get that double checked for you guys later on this offseason. Deuce Vaughn will fight for a spot. Hunter Lipke can do some fullback stuff for you. Davis and Connor. And they are not done making changes to this running back room. It's all very cheap, by the way, outside of Pollard, who will not cost as much if you wanted to bring him back as he did this past season. Also returning is Martavis Bryant, who, remember, had been cut to help make room for your veterans like Lyle Collins and Damian Wilson right before the postseason. Apparently did show enough for the Cowboys organization to bring him back on a futures deal, and it continues to be hopefully a better result than the Antonio Callaway path, who was also on a futures deal for you after his season ended last season. Bryant has not played a real NFL game since 2018, and as long as he stays out of trouble, etc., he would have a chance to play at least a game in the preseason. We shall see if that ends up materializing and how Bryant looks. But a full offseason around the team, I think, is only a good thing for him, even though he's a wild card. You have no idea what it's going to be. It's probably not a great deck. You've seen a lot of flush cards, a lot of face cards already when you've been playing blackjack here. But, hey, maybe you get that 10 that you need. So will Martavis Bryant make the roster next year for the Cowboys? How about the active 53-man roster? Y for yes and for no in the comments section. Racey McMath, one of those back-end practice squad shuffling players they added down the stretch. He is on a futures deal. Special teams guy, nice height, weight, speed combo. The exact type of player you sign to a futures deal. Jalen Cropper, I think he's just going by Jalen Cropper now, by the way. Also to a futures deal. He was a very popular UDFA pickup. I had a draftable grade on him out of Fresno State. Happy to see he is still in the fold. So overall, your current wide receiver room looks like this. And again, there will be changes. Your top 6 all come back. They're all under contract. We'll see about Gallup. David Durden will be back from IR. Then Cropper, Bryant, and McMath. And still more to come. Dallas normally carries anywhere from 12 to 15 come, preseason time. Since, you're not going to play Cooks and Lamb in the preseason. Why would you? Princeton Fant, the tight end, also signed. They actually had a chance to play on special teams kind of at points this season from the practice squad as call-ups there. The tight end room looks like this then. Jake Ferguson, Luke Schoonmaker, Hendershot under contract. Sean McEwen's a free agent. John Stevens, who was going to make this team, maybe over Hendershot, is going to return from his own ACL tear, and Fant there as tight end 4.5. We'll put the half for Sean McEwen there. Might not be a lot of change in that room given your investment in play from Schoonmaker and Ferguson, respectively. Today's show is made possible by Roan. I am rocking one of their pulls. I want to look good, feel good, and talk good, right? 20% off when you use promo code CHATSPORTS over at roan.com/ChatSports. They have 4-way stretch fabric. Gives you breathability, flexibility, leaves you free to enjoy whatever life ends up throwing your way. Also, it's got Gold Fusion anti-odor technology, so you don't start to stink at any point during the day. Also machine washable, so do not worry about dry cleaners because that's not worth the trip these days. Pants, dress shirts, quarter zips, polos, and more over at rhone.com/chatsports. That's RHONE.com/chatsports. When you use promo code chatsports, you get 20% off your order. Find your corner office comfort with Rhone. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. Offensive line now, Earl Bostick back with the club. The rather expensive UDFA by those standards, a player the Cowboys want to try to develop. No surprise, he is back. Most of these names had been mentioned earlier in the week on Monday. A couple more today, the Davis, Conner, Bryant. And then late yesterday, Dakoda Shepley had been brought. I think Fish had that one first, not sure on that one. The interior offensive lineman who's kind of bounced around as of late and is now again back with the Cowboys. He had kind of been a journeyman to a little extent there and had been claimed by the Colts during the Cowboys playoff run last year. So your offensive line depth chart looks like this. You got 3 free agents, Tyron Smith, Tyler Biotish, and Chuma Adoga. Some young pieces, Richards, Bass, Let's-Go. Hoffman actually played decently a little bit down the stretch, although they had some run-blocking scheme issues that remain to be the case. And then Josh Ball, who I do not like as a person. Durrell Johnson, the defensive end, who was a Liberty UDFA pickup. Fortunately, it wasn't our guy that they couldn't find a way to keep. The Colts claimed. But Johnson had been on the practice squad all year long. It's a developmental piece, exact guy you choose to keep. Now, you will still make, even by the Cowboys' low standards, a couple of moves this offseason as well. So name a player who you want to add if you were the Dallas Cowboys. Sound off for me. Keep it realistic in the comments. Again, this is where the defensive end depth chart sits at the moment with Durrell Johnson now added. Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler are free agents. Sam Williams and Junior Fehoko are the young guys behind Micah and Tank, plus Tyrus Wee, too. They kind of gave some linebacker reps, too, and I didn't really think that made any sense. I didn't think it was a very good path that they went on there. All right, linebacker Buddy Johnson is next here. Johnson had been added at the same time with the Steelers, former 4th-round pick out of A&M. Had some call-ups down the stretch this year because they were so decimated at the linebacker room. So right now it's Damone Clark, Marquise Bell, DeMarvion Overshone, and Leighton Vander Esch. Now, I would normally put Vander Esch as the starter coming back from his neck injury. I don't know if he's going to. So for now, he's just going to be depth because I think you got to treat him as a luxury and not a guaranteed thing at this stage. Now, we were going to do cut candidates. That video will instead go out tomorrow morning for you guys. So make sure you are subscribed, youtube.com/@CowboysTV for more free Cowboys videos. Cornerback Josh Butler is next up here on the list, the former USFL player. Cowboys clearly like him. That's why they're bringing him in. It's going to be, I think, a season of change in your quarterback room. Diggs and Bland, of course, will be back as CB1, CB2. We'll see if Stephon Gilmore comes back or if he leaves, or even, I think, retirement could be in the cards after the shoulder injury. Jordan Lewis, I don't think he's going to be back. We'll see. Noah Igbenogany, he's a free agent. Then it's Nashawn Wright, Eric Scott, Israel Mukwamu. They weren't playing. Can you trust them? I'm not so sure. Sheldrick Redwine, the final player here. Don't get some names not signed. I still should probably buy my wife the Redwine jersey. I think she'd like that one. The safety, by the way, who was the practice squad call-up a couple times over the course of the season. Jaron Kearse is a free agent. I don't think he's going to be back, frankly. Lee Cooker, Donovan Wilson, Wanye Thomas. You always rotate Marquise Bell back there if you wanted to. Mukwamu can play safety, and Redwine back to help give you some, if needed, extra, somewhat veteran depth. Now, there are some players not yet signed to deals, which could change today or tomorrow or whenever. Sir Roderick Thompson, who had been signed late in the year to the practice squad. Billy Price, who is not someone you want playing real games, but O-line depth is at a detriment, at a disaster class spot, I'd say. Also, Lyle Collins, who I would think they'd bring back since they did make the point to bother to sign him, and you're still able to do so, even though he was barely in the building for a little bit. Would you bring back Lyle Collins? Because he's going to be super cheap. I don't see any real downside doing it right now if you treat him as a luxury and not a, there's our new right tackle or whatever. S for sign, P for pass. Three others not signed, Carl Davis. You'll have to bring him back. He was pretty bad. Malik Jefferson, I'm kind of surprised by that one. He was the third linebacker, basically, in the postseason because you had so many few players. Also, Damian Wilson. I was always surprised by that one, but he kind of falls in the same bucket as Lyle Collins. Could be some more moves in terms of futures deals. If and when they are, we will have you guys covered.